Hello wonderful human beings, Sheldon Evans here, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about something very special because something super cool arrived in the mail, and that is this little guy, the Zhiyun Smooth 4. Now if you've never seen one of these before, this is a mobile filmmaking gimbal, which means that you can get steady footage on your mobile phone. If you're a fan of this channel or if you know anything about me, you'll know that I absolutely hate lugging heavy gear around with me. These days I hardly ever travel with my DSLR at all. I mainly use my trusty little iPhone. Little is a strong word here, maybe large iPhone, because this is a refrigerator sized device and I wish that I had the smaller one, but that is a story for another day. You might not actually even realize it, but your mobile phone is a pretty neat little filmmaking device. These days most phones come with 4K video recording, they can shoot at 120 frames per second, which some high-end cameras can't even do. Canon, please step up your game. As well as time-lapse and dual lenses, so that you can have multiple different focal lengths just on one little device, and you can get add-on lenses, you can get ND filters that you can attach, making your phone pretty much all you need to shoot with. So if you've been hesitant on buying a higher-end DSLR camera, perhaps you could look at the mobile filmmaking market and get something like the Zhiyun Smooth 4 in order to up your mobile filmmaking game. So let's take a look at what you have included in the box. First off, you have the charging cable, then you have the gimbal itself, as well as this three-legged tripod that you can screw onto the bottom of the gimbal and use as a tripod or to stand your gimbal down when you're not using it. All you have to do is squeeze your phone into the mount and you're ready to go, and you can start shooting almost immediately. The gimbal has everything you could possibly need to control your entire mobile device using just the controller and the buttons on it, which makes for super smooth filmmaking because you don't have to continuously touch the mobile device's screen in order to adjust the settings and risk throwing it off balance or adding shake to your footage. You can simply change your settings right from the handle. You can also control your phone's manual exposure right from the controller, meaning you can adjust the shutter speed, the white balance, the aperture, all of that directly from the device. This helps heaps because one of the main reasons that footage on a mobile phone doesn't look as cinematic as, say, footage coming from a Canon or a Sony camera is that you can't manually adjust the settings. And what happens is when you use the automatic mode built into your phone's camera, it'll usually set the shutter speed way high so that you get this choppy looking footage that doesn't look cinematic at all. However, now you can manually adjust the exposure on your phone so that you can slow down that shutter speed and get that smooth motion blur that makes your footage look more cinematic. I've spoken about this quite in depth on my channel before in the mobile filmmaking video that I've made, in which I use the FIlmic Pro app to get more cinematic footage using your mobile phone. So if you haven't checked that video out already, make sure that you go have a look at it. And guess what? The FIlmic Pro app works with this gimbal as well, and it works flawlessly. The gimbal connects in seconds to the app and you gain a ton of additional features, like using zebras to see which part of your image is over or underexposed, as well as focus peaking to make sure that you get every single part of your image tack sharp every single time. Even though you'll be using your phone's larger screen as a monitor, it's not always that easy to see what is in or out of focus. So using focus peaking really helps a lot if you want to make sure that you're getting those sharp images. And this takes us on to the next crazy useful feature of the gimbal, and that is the follow focus wheel. Yes, you can actually manually control your phone's focus using this little dial, and it works surprisingly well. I expected it to be a little jumpy and not work too effectively because your phone really isn't made for manual focus. However, it works perfectly and there's no lag at all, and it works perfectly fine, and you can change focus just as you would with a regular manual lens. And if using this dial as a focus wheel isn't cool enough, if you hit this little target button on the device, it then converts the focus wheel into a zoom wheel, allowing you to zoom using your camera's zoom function. They've even included an option in their Zhiyun app, which is an app specifically made for their devices, for you to easily recreate the vertigo effect that you see in some Hollywood movies. Now you can obviously create this effect manually by switching to the zoom function and moving in and out towards your subject while zooming in or out as well. However, using the option built into the app makes it really simple. All you have to do is set your start and end point and then move the gimbal at the same speed so that you don't have to worry about zooming in while you're moving the gimbal. Moving on to some of the other features of the gimbal, you have a few modes that you can play with here. So in the pan follow mode, the gimbal will automatically pan left to right depending on which way you turn the gimbal. However, the up and down motion will be locked. Although if you hold down the bottom trigger at the back of the gimbal, this will switch it into full follow mode, meaning that it'll follow your movement every which way you go. If you knock that little switch to L mode, it'll switch the gimbal into lock mode, meaning that it won't move at all and it'll will only lock in the position that it was before you knock the switch over. Moving on to the last pretty neat feature that I want to talk about is phone go mode, which you can activate by holding the top trigger at the back of the gimbal. This is something that I haven't really seen before, but it can make for some pretty damn cool transitions and video effects. If you enjoy making Instagram stories as much as me, then you'll be able to take them to the next level with this neat little feature. End your stories off with a sweet transition into the next story, and I guarantee you, your DMs will be blowing up with people asking you how you did it. Or at the very least, you can be proud that you've created something totally unique. If you do plan on using this gimbal to make epic Instagram stories, I suggest you switch it into portrait mode, because you don't want to be that guy recording stories in landscape mode. Please do not be that person. And that's it, pretty much everything you need in one single tool to take your mobile filmmaking to the next level, or if you haven't even started yet, to get started with creating epic mobile films. Snap the gimbal into standby mode when you're not using it, and then simply flick it out when you're ready to use it again, and it'll be ready to go in seconds. If you're wondering where you can get yourself one of these bad boys, I've popped a link in the description down below for you to pick it up for 140 bucks. There really are no cons to this thing. It's light, its battery lasts forever, it's cheap, and it works like a charm. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked the review style video and you want to see more review style videos like this, let me know down in the comments below and I'll get on it. If you liked the video, don't forget to smash that like button down below. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button, and as always, I shall see you in the next video. Cheers.